Good morning. This is the third day of talking about the 4 mind-turning reflections. So first of all, I started by talking about the preciousness of human birth, of human life. And yesterday I talked a little bit about impermanence. Today I come to the third one, which is karma, the law of karma. And the law of karma is often misunderstood and seen in rather a simplistic way as everything that happens to you, you brought upon yourself, you deserved it. Of course, it doesn't mean that at all. The word karma simply means action. And karma vipaka, willed action, action with intention behind it. So it's an expression of conditionality, that all things have causes and conditions, and if we act skillfully, positive consequences occur, and if we act unskillfully, unfavourable circumstances arise. So that is very empowering, because it means that it's in our hands how we act, and the consequences of our actions are up to us because of those skillful or unskillful actions. So there's nobody judging us, there's nobody inflicting anything on us other than ourselves. But the law of karma is only one aspect of conditionality, and in What is the Dharma, Sangharakshita talks about these other aspects, or 5 orders of conditionality. The word for those is niyama. That word, I think, came from Buddhaghosa. And they are physical, inorganic, physical, organic, that's biological, psychological, karmic, and transcendental. So there are 5 orders of conditionality, karma being one of them, and probably the most important of them, because it's the one that we can do something about. So he says that unless one has the insight of a Buddha, one can't be sure which niyamas have brought about a particular effect. And he gives an example then, so I'll read that out, because it shows how complex trying to decide about the cause of anything really is. So the example usually given is that of a fever. If one gets a fever, it may be a chill caused by a sudden change in temperature, or one may have caught a viral infection, or perhaps one has succumbed to illness as a result of some kind of mental strain. That would be psychological. Or it may be the effect on one's system of transcendental insight. That's a bit more mysterious. I'll say something about that. Thus, the same end result may have been brought about by something physical, biological, something psychological, something karmic, or something transcendental, or a combination of 2 or more of these. Causality is a complex web. Anything that happens or comes into being does so as a result not of one cause but of many. So that was an aspect of the Buddha's insight into reality, that things arise and things pass away and factors come together and then they dissolve again. So everything is in a process, and it's very hard to tease out any one of those. But, and there is a big but, the one that we can do something about, the one that is in our hands, is the conditionality, that is karma. So we can be sure of one thing, and that is that although we don't know, we can't be sure about how things have arisen now in terms of which aspect of conditionality or multiple causes have come together to produce that. We can be sure that our skillful actions of today will have positive consequences tomorrow. So that's really important that we know that. And if we have confidence in that, if we have real confidence in that, then it encourages us to act skillfully, because we know that only good results can come from that. So obviously, at its base of acting skillfully within Buddhism, we have the 5 precepts. And the 5 precepts are a very good training ground for us. Yes, so the first verse of the Dhammapada says this: all that we are is the result of what we have thought. It is founded on our thought and made up of our thoughts. If someone speaks or acts with a skillful thought, happiness follows him like a shadow that never leaves. Actually, that's the second verse. I'll give you Sangharakshita's version of those first 2 verses. Unskilful mental states are preceded by mind, led by mind, and made up of mind. If one speaks or acts with an impure mind, suffering follows him, even as the cart wheel follows the hoof of the ox. Skilful mental states are preceded by mind, led by mind, and made up of mind. If one speaks or acts with a pure mind, happiness follows like a shadow. So, yes, these 5 precepts, the training principles of Buddhism, they're very simple. They're very like other recommendations in other faiths. What's sometimes seen as different is that they are principles, not orders or commands. So the first one is to abstain from taking life. I undertake the training principle of abstaining from taking life. And the positive counterpart of that is with deeds of loving kindness, I purify my body. The second one is I undertake the training principle of abstaining from taking the not given. And positively, with open-handed generosity, I purify my body. And so on. The third one, I'll only give you the positive ones now because I'm running a bit short of time. So it's with stillness, simplicity and contentment, I purify my body. And with truthful communication, I purify my body. And I'm now getting mixed up in myself with the 10 precepts which order members take at ordination. It's gone out of my mind right at the end of my talk, so I'm not going to record it. We can all forget something now and then. With mindfulness clear and radiant, okay? Mindfulness clear and radiant, I purify my mind. So we should feel a lot of confidence that, hey, if we act skillfully, only good things can happen. And this is why it's really important to acknowledge in Buddhism where we do act unskillfully, and we do all the time. These are training principles. And I think the deeper that one practices, you get used to seeing the more minor, seemingly insignificant ways in which we act unskillfully, And it's brilliant now. I mean, I really enjoy having my conscience pricked when I know that maybe I haven't spoken with great skillfulness or done something that wasn't quite skillful, and apologising or confessing becomes really important to Buddhists who are practicing sincerely. So I might say more about confession another day, actually, because it's an interesting subject. Anyway, that's more than enough for now. So I'll end it there. See you tomorrow.